Greetings. I hope that gave you a bit of a taster, a bit of an amuse-bouche of what visual PR is all about. I can't believe it, considering the amount of things I do live, on air, on stage and everything. It's bizarre how I was incredibly nervous about going live with this show, because this is my latest baby. I got called a serial entrepreneur the other day. I think that, as I say, just means that I just do more to get myself exhausted. But this visual PR is a culmination of all the things that I've been doing and identifying the best ways that I think I can help organizations and individuals and their PR and marketing teams. And that's the nature. Now, to give you a bit of an idea, Graham Leafield, hello, thanks for the like, and good to see there's a good few of you coming in and watching. It's on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. I think it's even been shown on Twitter, so it's great to be able to see that. Just to give you an insight, by the way, of just how interactive this is, I want to put this up straight away. The PB medical team, that's at Castlecombe Circuit. Afternoon, Dawesy. Greetings. I'm imagining that's Chris Mason. We get to interact with our crowd. But what is visual PR really about? Well, first of all, I want to establish something, that PR is apparently, and this is like long-winded now, so bear with me, the practice of managing and disseminating information from an individual or an organization to the public in order to influence their perception. All right, did you follow that? Did you keep up with that? That is what PR, just not mine, that is the official, is it official? I don't know whether they've sealed it, but it's the description of what PR is. And it makes sense, therefore, to make it visual. And that's where the name comes from, is make it visual. If it's written PR, and by the way, this is in addition to written PR in my mind. I have written PR and work with a lovely lady, Jo Smythe, that helps me out with my written PR. And just quickly, hi, Adam Moore, Chris Mason, greetings. Thanks for the likes. If you like and comment, I get to see those and put them up. So it's brilliant. So thank you for that. If it's written PR, though, and you solely rely on that, is it being read? How much of it is being read? And are you sure it is being read in the tone and emotions that you intended it? The probability is no. It's a big risk. We don't know exactly what is happening in terms of how much of an article is being read and how it is being read, which is why the next bit is gain control of how your information is being received and perceived by those that are digesting it. Hi, Claire. My wife's watching as well. Thanks, Claire, for the like. Get back to work or lunch, one or the other. So, yeah, be in control of how it is being received and perceived. And we're all hearing more and more about video in general, that it's being consumed a lot more. I mean, you hear stats like video is 53 times, or even more if you read some other stats, more likely to grab and retain someone's attention. Now, the reason being is it gives us a chance. I mean, again, put the next bit up. It gives us the chance to showcase our brand, ourselves as well. You know, let them see you, let them connect to you as a person. And that's a collective within your organization, suppliers, customers, you name it. And we'll come on to some of the examples of where these shows stand on their own. But get those emotions out there and help create better connect, deeper, sorry, as the word says there, probably says it better, deeper connections, greater integrity, because it's not scripted and re-edited and just saying what we want to say. It's a free flow conversation like we see here. And I'm going to show you how it works with other people. In fact, I can bring in other cameras. That is actually from, if I remove that, that is Visual PR HQ. Lovely out the back there, sunny at the moment. And I can have different guests and do all sorts of different ways that I want to do it. It's an interactive show. It is conversational, so that we are able to really connect with it and feel the authenticity. I don't know who this one actually is, but it's a LinkedIn user, says, loves this, Chris. Many different areas you've been so passionate about over the years merging together. 100%. It really is exactly that. And my guest that I'm going to be getting on shortly is a guy that saw that as soon as I started talking to him about the ideas. And he said, at last, we're able to bring together all the different things that you do and you love and have had success with. And it is that. And I feel that it's something that I can help others with. For me, I identified written PR, then goes to corporate videos if we're talking about videos. And the problem is that they can be overlooked unfairly. You know, it might be missed that they kind of go, oh, it's scripted, it's perfect. We actually incorporate corporate videos in here. You've already seen I've done an intro. We're able to do segues and adverts and promos and outros at the end of it to make it a real slick show that can be broadcast live or as live. So in other words, we can hit record instead of broadcast, but still be this free-flowing conversation talking about whatever is appropriate for that episode for you. And then we put it out as and when you're ready. It's even able to go out as a recorded show, but we're still interacting as though it's going out now, so that we can put the comments up. Talking of which, there's another one that's come up. Jed Doyle. Hey, Chris, I've shared this with my marketing team. Thank you, Jed. I appreciate that. I hope you're well, my friend. Please do. Anybody seeing this, if you see that it could be relevant, not just to you, but other people that you know or within your organization, please do. Just let them know, because the scope of this is absolutely massive. Bringing together what I've been doing. So you'll hear some comments coming in from people. It all started with Castle Combe TV, a local racing circuit where I started watching as a 5-year-old and started commentating at 12 years ago, that launched my commentary career and is very, very close to my heart. And at the beginning of lockdown, we started Combe TV, Castle Combe TV, that was designed to bring everybody together in quite a scary time. And we had special guests from the world of Castle Combe and the world of motorsport in a wider scale. And it was a great escape for everybody, that we would all be together asking questions of the guests from people. And it's kind of grown from there, is that I've had numerous commercial organizations that have asked me to do stuff. I do stuff for Classic Touring Car Racing Club, have now their own TV show that we do episodes once every single month. And it just grew from there, realizing, hey, this is a great chance to interact with our audience with whatever our message happens to be. In terms of why live, well, it's about the fact I've already mentioned, things like authenticity, trust, because we're just chatting off the top of our head. It's not a edited and scripted thing. The corporate videos I'm able to play within this. So don't get me wrong, all of it has its place, and we're trying to bring it all together into a single show, a single chat show of your own, if you will. You're able to make it conversational, engaging, fun, emotional, motivational, educational, informative, etc. I mean, the world's your oyster. Make it whatever works for your organization, whatever is appropriate. As I say, it complements your marketing and PR strategies, or it could be the start if you don't really have one just yet. I have contacts within the marketing and PR world as well, if you don't already have that says this can be a part of it, and then able to do things with it, or feed into it, or feed from it. The PR team can say, we need to go with this message this month. We need to talk about this. Can we get these guests on? Because these suppliers, these partners, these customers, these members of staff or management team can all add content. But the beauty about this is, instead of throwing somebody in front of a camera and say, right, there you go, present, And I don't know about you, I had it largely at the start of this, even with what I do, that you suddenly go, hello, I need to talk about something and I've forgotten what order I was going to do it in. And it can be really scary, really daunting. It can feel unnatural to us, let alone potentially the people that are watching it. Whereas the idea of this, I get to interview you. And that is something that I thoroughly love doing. I do it professionally. And one of the biggest compliments I get is that I make people feel relaxed and it becomes almost like a fireside chat. And I take that as a huge compliment. And it's something that I will be looking to do with you and your marketing teams, etc., to make you feel at ease. Now, I say I interview you. We have different ways that we can do it with you. So I'd be interviewing you. Incidentally, if I do this, I can still do it where I'm not even on camera. So maybe I'm doing the off-camera interviewing. I will bring myself back though, because otherwise I start feeling left out. I'm so needy. I'm such a diva. You know, I've got to be on camera. So that's of you, with you, of you, or even for you. There are some organizations that say, no, we want you to be the presenter. And I can do that as well. We can have multiple guests and from multiple locations all over the world and remote and wherever it is. And on that front, the way that I'm able to do this is that I have, if you like, a green room at the bottom, and I can have multiple people, multiple locations. Hence, I've already shown you, I've got Visual PR HQ and, well, at the back of Visual PR HQ. But I can have multiple people all ready to be brought in at the right time. And I can have multiple people at the same time brought on. And on that note, that's hopefully given him the trail in. I can see him. He's out the back there. He's waving to me. He's waving. He's ready. So everybody in that green room, I can see them. So if they've nipped off to the easy for me to say, nipped off to the loo, I know that not to bring them on camera. The good news is my guest is there, so I'm able to bring him straight on, and I'm delighted to, let me change it round. Let's do it this way. It's Graham Leafield from Gel Studios. Hello, mate.
Hey, Chris, you all right? How you doing?
Yeah, very good. Thank
you.
you.
Hear me
Thank
okay?
you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good,
I can hear you. Thank you for jumping on.
Fantastic.
I appreciate it. I know it was quite short notice as well, but it
No worries.
made
Thanks for having
sense
me.
not only to show people how we're able to do this in terms of grabbing an interview, but our relationship has sort of grown over the years professionally, I hasten to add, by the way, in open doors training. You helped me with the website, the marketing, and again with Visual PR. You also emotionally gave me the encouragement to go with it. And you guys have helped me with the website and more marketing literature. Give us an insight, Graham. What is Gel Studios? Hang on. Let me stop you there. Hang on. Let me stop you there, because you won't like this, will you? You'll want that as the overlay. Look at that. The branding.
Well, this show's about you, mate, so you can do whatever you like with that.
I tell you what, you still won't be happy. Let me change it again. I can change to corporate identities, and I'm going to go to Gel Studios. Look at that. Even the colouring is your green.
Fantastic.
See? Perfect that we're able to do the branding.
Good.
Go. What's Gel Studios, my friend?
Well, you've kind of summed it up, really. I mean, we're there to support businesses with, anything to help them get seen, which traditionally falls under, great websites, really good graphics design, and meaningful marketing. And obviously, you've got to experience our processes from when we were small, sort of 2-3 people, all the way up to now, so sort of like 10, 11 members of staff. So, anything to help people get seen. And you mentioned something beforehand, which was, a push. I don't really think I gave you a push, mate, but this is just a great idea. It's accessible. Those words that you said in terms of, it's honest, it's empathetic, all these sort of things, and it's immediate. I mean, look at this morning. Just a little message. You're able to come on. I'm there. I don't need to book anything. Don't need to plan anything. I can be there. And one of the great things about this, certainly from what we do with regards to social media stuff for our clients, is the ability to have an interview like this and then repurpose that content afterwards into whatever you want it to do, all in one quick, easy session. And I know a lot of people that will be looking at this will be kind of management level, director level. Time is precious. We get that. And having somebody like you at the helm to steer and drive and do everything that you need to with the system really helps make the most out of that time. But I mean, thanks ever so much for having me here. It's really nice to be here on episode 1.
Absolutely, it had to be done. It had to be done, and you know, you guys get it because you are one of my marketing contacts that I would turn to, not just for my own stuff, but if someone wants to do, whether it's social media management. And you know, this is a key thing, isn't it? I mean, I'm sort of stealing a bit of the thunder that I was going to go on to later, but it's not just about this live show, as you say. This can now be cut up into multiple chunks that could give you a month's worth of social media fodder, couldn't it?
100%. You could spend an hour talking about some sort of topic. You can then obviously save this and you can repurpose that later as a whole show. So, you know, those people in the evenings that just want to sit down and take it in when the, you know, the load of the day has gone past, you know, and absorb it. But also you can use it as viable marketing assets. So short form media, you might find some funny quotes, some little movements throughout, put those into 5-6 second reels on Instagram or slightly longer content in TikTok, start a form of conversation. And it's the immediacy that I love, Chris, with all of it. So, you know, the comments that you've got coming in from social media, all the different platforms, you know, this just does all of it for you, and it keeps people engaged. And that is ultimately, you know, you said something at the beginning about what PR was. When we're talking about marketing, you want to keep people engaged with the service or project that you're offering. And what is better than tuning into something and actually then having the presenter give you those thank yous, say that kudos to you on the way back? You're going to stay and you're going to watch. And I believe that was what I saw in lockdown when you were doing one of the things for Castle Coombe. So yeah, it works.
It really does, and I guess you know, another key point is that it gives us that. I forget what phrase I should really use, but as in you're able to, because we're going out as video and you can be broadcasting it live to, it's, let's say YouTube and Facebook as the most popular ones, the most common ones.
Yeah.
I'm also going out on LinkedIn, as I say, and things like that as well. But not only does it go live if I've chosen the live option, but of course that then stays there after we finish the show for people to watch whenever, to go back to it. But taken from your angle is that we're able to go back to it and actually see all of the data that says how many people have watched it, how long of it have they watched, which points did they come in and out, all these, what do you call it, the metrics or whatever. I can't remember what you call
The
it.
metrics. Yeah, you're right. And you know what? Being able to do that clearly and easily is one of the most important things for any sort of marketeer out there. They want to be able to see that data. They don't want to have to trawl through loads of things. This was the most effective thing at this time through the video. What were we talking about? But you can take it another step further with this tool. You can engage with people live, asking them, yeah, let's take a little bit of a pivot on this and let's start talking about that topic. You guys interested in that? You get the feedback from your audience, and that is what I love about this. This is a very modern approach to some somewhat archaic methods which are used by some others out there.
It really is. But I mean, in fairness, for me, it was like it was this eureka moment of going, hang on, we can be using this in commerce. And it just makes sense. And yes, if you not just change subject, but if we're talking about something, we all are guilty of it at times where we know what we're talking about and we just go blurt. And you forget that people haven't understood this, that would make sense of that. And they can get to ask you that, going, what do you mean, guys, about that? And they can ask, and you go, oh, good question. And we're able to lead on with that information as well. It just makes sense.
It's just a very natural evolution of it all. And like I said, again, it's just that immediacy. It's that two-way. Well, it's not really two-way, is it? It's one to many, you know, but it's that ability, like I said, with somebody like you at the helm to steer those things as well. And we look forward to seeing how this grows. You know, we're looking at doing a content series piece. And traditionally you look at, you know, setting up a studio, getting lighting, videos, cameras and everything like that to give it that professional, polished feel. You get this right out the back. You know, today I'm using just a normal computer webcam. AirPods is the microphone here, so sure we could upgrade it, I'm sure, but we're able to create assets which are polished, and that builds rapport not just with existing customers but potential ones as well. You want that polished thing which goes out there. So it ticks all the boxes, it really does. And anybody that's thinking about getting into video, it is one of the most sort of, you know, uptake means to get your message, get your company out there at the moment. And this is a great foot in the door to be able to do that.
No, thank you. And that's why you saw how excited I was when I started talking to you about this, didn't you? It was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you know,
It was a building site. You came into the office, didn't you? I remember it vividly, just to the right of where I am now, while the builders were going around doing everything. And it was an epiphany moment, certainly for me as well, because I hope you don't mind me sharing with the viewers. up to this point, you've had two very, very different arms to what Chris does. And Chris is linked intrinsically with both of them, which has been both a positive and a little bit of a hurdle. We've got, the corporate training, speaking training, enabling others to be able to speak from a position of, experience, empathy, all of those sort of things, which makes you very, very credible. And there's training which I've given to my staff through Chris as well, for that fact. And then we've got the motorsport side. So two quite different things. How do we as marketeers market that? It's been a challenge, I think it's safe to say. But now that we've got this visual PR inside, you can attract the right audience, you can understand what they're on about, you can use all of the things from both of those sides to create something with really good, meaningful value that people understand from day one. And that, I think, is where it's that's why I was on board from the first time that you shared it with me.
You got it instantly, and that helped me to sort of reaffirm my idea, because you always question yourself, don't you? You start wondering whether it's right, but it made sense. Just very quickly then, is that I loved an analogy that somebody gave me only yesterday when I was explaining this to them. They went, wow, do you know what? Radio DJs have been getting this for decades or more, because I don't know, a lot of people may be able to relate to this. If you're in a long journey on the car and you've plugged a device in and you're listening to a playlist or an album or a selection of them, brilliant, because it's our favorite music and we're listening to it. I don't know about how many people might get this, but for me, is I will get to a stage where I suddenly feel quite lonely and isolated on that journey, though, because it's lovely music, but that's it. It's just playing music. And so I will turn radio on, because the DJs are not just playing music nonstop. It is about those conversations, the guests that they bring on, the subjects, and the way that they're very clever, that they talk to the audience like we do on this Visual PR chat show. It creates a much more enjoyable connection, doesn't it?
100%. And I think this, radio is one example, soaps are example. They're talking about relevant things, and you might have heard those things on the radio in the office. You might have heard somebody chatting about it or seeing something on Facebook. You're immediately more engaged. And another thing about this, which has, trumps over radio, we're doing, face. We're seeing people, we're seeing the whites of their eyes, and that is another dimension. There's been lots of sort of business intelligence studies about specifically in lockdown, the rise of video calling, the days of picking up the phone and doing business, that's dead. People want to see the whites of people's eyes. They want to build that rapport. They want to see people being genuine and sincere. And this is what this does.
It does, and we're able to take that to another level as well. We do these shows, we can extract the audio, and it suddenly is your podcast, your next episode of a podcast as well. It's all ready to go, and people are listening to everything. Don't second guess. And I hear it all the time. People go, well, surely they're not going to listen to my content. It's not that. They will. I'm telling you, you just will not believe. Don't second guess. Create the content so that they can, if they want to, and that is the critical thing. Add to that it helps SEO, which I know you guys are involved in as well, search engine optimization, because it sits on YouTube. We can get dictation of the content. It can sit with, enable you to create another blog post on your website with the video and a narrative to go with it. As I say, the podcast themselves, everything just suddenly adds to your SEO and gives you more ways that you can be found, which again, Graham, is the kind of thing that you guys need to help organizations with that side as well.
100%. And we need to be seen about the way that we do it. And that's why this tool is brilliant. I think one other thing just to mention about this is that it's consistency, and when you look at traditionally doing, something, making a podcast, doing whatever, there's many hurdles to come over. This makes it simple. The content is there. You can just create the account, you can upload it, and away you go. It's ease, and that is what aids to that consistency. So fantastic product. You'll be hearing from me soon. Let's hope we can sort something out about that when we decide what we're going to do. So it's brilliant.
Absolutely. And the final comment is that it becomes an evergreen resource afterwards, that you have it all the time, that you're communicating with someone either verbally or by email, and you say, oh, I tell you what, here's a link to a video where we discuss that. It's a fabulous evergreen resource.
Magnets, other ways of repurposing it. You've got the assets, you've just not even decided the right questions to ask yet. You've got these things there. So it's brilliant.
And I knew you'd love the word evergreen because it's got to be that green, hasn't it, for gel?
Got to be that green. Got to be that green. Yep.
Listen, Graham, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to play you out with a little video clip we had where you guys opened your brand new offices. You've got to see their offices. It's wonderful space. We may well, on one of the shows, do a tour and all that sort of stuff.
Please.
But I'm going to play out with a little video clip. Graham Leafield from Gel Studios, thank you very much, my friend.
Thanks very much, Chris. All the best for visual PR. Take care.
I'm still here, but Graham's going. But thanks, Graham. Thank you so much to Graham Leafield for coming on. It gave us the chance to sort of showcase a few elements about this and how it works, and we can interact and we can move on to more guests and multiple guests at the same time, and you get the idea of how that feels. I've got a few more things I just want to just launch to you, but before I do, I'm going to do it at the end as well, but I promise that there is a special offer as part of this as well. Let me put two key things up there. Email to chris@visual-pr.co.uk. Register interest. Don't commit. It's not committing. Just register that you're interested. You want to know more. And we can sort out a personalized virtual tour of the studio back so that you get to see behind the scenes. Not you're looking at the moment at the final production of what goes out to the viewers, but we can give you a tour and we can show what it would look like with your branding and how the different things we can do. So drop me a line on that. And the special launch offer is that the first 5 people that register their interest will get the ability to come on, like Graham just did, as a special guest on a future episode of Visual PR TV, because we practice what we preach. As you see how Visual PR will have their own Visual PR TV that will be sort of educating and interviewing a number of people. You and your organization, or your organization, should I say, could be one of those guests for the first 5. And there will be a personalized discount offer to those first 5 people that register. So get yourself on those emails, preferably wait until you've watched the rest of this show, or multitask if you can. Will be noted down as and I say a personalized discount offer because there are different packages of whether you want it monthly, fortnightly, or weekly. So there's no point me just saying this is the offer. It will be personalized depending on what we identify is right for you. And that comes on to the whole point about how this can work, is that we do exactly that. And you heard Graham earlier make a comment about the fact of being disciplined. It's critical with the marketing. It's why, for example, Gel Studios manage social media. I know from experience, if I suddenly try to do it myself, it doesn't get done. I'm too busy. It falls by the wayside and it just doesn't get done. Whereas if the team are there to be able to actually manage that for you, you're getting these things out there. Well, I will do that. My PR lady, Jo Smythe, she makes a point. Right, Chris, we've got to have a video conference to discuss this month's content. And we'll work it out. And she'll, as a wordsmith, will come up with the article. And we'll get it sorted, and that'll go out to the different journals and sites and whatever else that written PR is going out to. Again, if she didn't do that, it wouldn't happen. My company is your discipline. We will have that meeting. Right, what are we doing? What's this month's content? When are we doing it? Who are we getting on? Do we need additional corporate, video stings to be part of that show? And it will get sorted out. So you make sure that it is happening every month, fortnight, or week, whichever is appropriate. And you create that anticipation. You create that connection. People will show up to watch it. You are building that library. And it is a retainer over, in theory, we say a minimum of 6 months, so that we get it going consistently with you to make it sing and dance and potentially evolve as time goes on. I want to make a key point, though, that what I recommend with these is don't sell. It's not that everyone is going to be an advert. we'll have adverts within them, but as a show, it becomes conversational. We want to inform people. We want to connect with people. We want to motivate people. And that's where these conversational pieces are able to achieve that. It feels much more natural to people. Let those people do what they want and are able to do with the information you share them. If you weren't giving them that information, it wouldn't work. How many times have you gone, wow, I've got to explain this again. They don't quite get it. How many times are people thinking that, wondering that without asking you, therefore assuming, no, that's not relevant to me? Maybe they've missed a key point. If you are able to keep educating, keep connecting, keep, giving them a face to it, meet the team or whatever it happens to be, you are growing in every way. Let me move away from that and move on to the next bit. What can your shows be about? Well, and I'm going to show you another thing that we're able to do is I'm going to just bring up, I need to switch it around. Let's put it that way. There we go. What can it be about? Well, the world's your oyster, but here's some examples. It could be announcements, launches, updates, and news items for you or your organization. It could be interviews with any number of people that you feel would be interesting, relevant, useful, your suppliers, your customers, your partners, a celebrity, an expert. We had someone that they sponsored a particular trophy and they wanted to get the manager of that team that won the trophy on an interview. Well, suddenly you've added value to the sponsorship that you've been putting into that trophy, because on your TV show, you've now got the manager. Guess what? They then share that show. Guess what? People watch it and share that show. The supporters, the teammates, it goes on and on. You are putting yourself in a very strong position with this. Meet the teams is a massive one that people talk to me about, because there are so many people. I know Graham says this all the time. He's very passionate about his team in the throughout the whole of Gel Studios. And to have that opportunity that you have educational ones and then you suddenly interject with a meet the team, or it makes up a little part of every show maybe, and you allow your customers, etc., to know the people behind the team that supports them and works with them. Testimonials. What an incredible opportunity to do real testimonials. Who reads the testimonials? We all read them, but do you kind of just know that they're definitely true? Does it add enough to it when you read someone's testimonial? What about if you got a customer on and you didn't just tell me all about it, you actually sang about their successes, their achievements. And in the middle of that, you are also given a testimonial for the work that you've done with and for them. Add so much more for your testimonials bank as well. How-to, training, demonstrations, discussions about your products, your services, or new things come up in the news, new budgets, whatever it might be. Accountants can suddenly do a show that talks about the latest mini budget and helps educate people and make people understand it. Well, you're coming across as the expert then, and that is really priceless. What about tours and behind the scenes? You heard me mention about Graham and the new Gel office. Well, suddenly it doesn't need to be on a static webcam. You can do it via mobile devices, and we can now be moving around a location and giving a tour of that while narrating it and discussing it. It's not just I'm going to wander around and I'm going to talk whilst I'm doing this. It's like, no, make it part of the chat show. And it can be part of it. It could be recorded tours that we play as extra videos. Q&A sessions. By the way, behind the scenes was another one to tours, because I got sports people that want to do behind the scenes that we don't get to see as fans. But Q&A sessions, we talked about the interaction, and we can also do from live events. In the initial intro video, we've got where we could be at a conference or an exhibition or a seminar day, an open day. And as well as filming bits and pieces of it, we could have an interview studio set up, and we can have a sequence of people coming on to be interviewed during the course of the day. You're adding something extra to a day, an event. I talk about live events because we did it live race days as well, and media days at the circuit. We've done all sorts of different bits and pieces. So genuinely, the world is your oyster. It could be so many different things that I'm amazed that I managed to narrow it down, if I'm completely honest, but I did. Who is it for? And this one is the part that excited me the most / scared the hell out of me the most, because I'm having to manage this properly, and the team is about to grow within Visual PR to make sure that we're there to be able to support you properly, because the answers are any industry. It isn't industry specific. We've all got information to share, and I've had some incredible examples that have, as soon as you mention it, go, actually, I think we need to speak about this. This is useful. This is relevant. Any size, from micro businesses and sole traders, and we've got special pricing for micro businesses and sole traders, all the way up to corporates and multinationals. I mentioned about having a show every single week. Well, maybe that's a different branch, a different office, a different department, a different country that are doing each week's show, so that they are spreading it around. I also, by the way, am open to the idea of that being a collaboration of organizations that take out the weekly, because there's an economies of scale, of course, but it's a different one of them each week. That is a possibility as well. Sporting teams, organizations, and individuals. You take racing drivers want to be able to give updates about how their season's going so far, a Q&A with fans and whatever else, behind the scenes, so we get to see them working on their vehicle, their garage. They can have recorded some stuff from the race weekend that we don't get to see as fans. What about exposure for those sponsors? I mean, absolutely priceless. You've got partners, you've got sponsors, organizations that align themselves to charities. Well, how about we also give an exposure to those charities within those shows as well? It is so much possibility with this. And I mentioned charities there, and I can say this publicly now, is that a plan for me with Visual PR is that we are going to schedule regular charity spotlight shows as part of Visual PR TV, and it'll be a different charity every single time, and that is donated from Visual PR, so that we are going to have a charity spotlight Visual PR show to give those charities that all of us hear the stories and just go, wow, what incredible work they're doing. But how about we speak to them, we interview them, and we find out more about it, what's going on, what do they need, what are they doing and helping and achieving. We get to hear behind the scenes, and not just a flashed up advert that's going to go online or on TV. It's a conversation about it with the people that are passionately running these charities. And I'm really delighted, and Graham knows this one as well, because I've talked for at length many a time, is that I've always wanted to be able to help charitable organizations in some way, but my other businesses didn't really have a way that I could do it. I've at last identified that a way I can. How? Final question to really cover on this is, how can it be done? I've already explained about the monthly, fortnightly, or weekly. I've already explained about the with you, of you, and for you. But ever so simply is that what I get from you is your logo. You saw me rebrand, just instantly rebrand over to Gel Studios. And I can do that with any brand. I've suddenly flicked over to my other company, Open Doors Training. And I haven't got the overlay on there. There we go. Let's put the overlay up as well. And we've got Open Doors Training. I can suddenly flick to Classic Touring Car Racing Club, another one of my clients. We already talked about Castle Combe TV. Instantly changed to the logo. From that get your corporate colors. Probably established that with you. We get any videos that you may have, so that we've got collateral to be able to use as part of this. We then connect to your outlets like YouTube and Facebook, so that I'm able to say, yeah, broadcaster here, here, here. I can broadcast up to 8 different locations at the same time. Anybody who's watching on those locations are able to then, in the chat part, if you will, comment or ask questions, and I have them on the side, and I can ignore those ones that are questionable if any come up, but I can click, and I do apologize because I missed one earlier. David Williams, hello, mate. I hope you're still there. Apologies if I missed you, but he says, hi, top man. Greetings to you, my friend. I can choose to put them up if appropriate, when appropriate. Let's not forget, because my example with that is that we were in a flow. It will tell me, as you saw there, their name, their profile photo, and it will tell me where they've come from. Has that comment come from LinkedIn, from Facebook, or from YouTube? It gives us all of that information. I'm able to see how many people are watching at any one time, where they're watching it from, the likes. David Van Walt, hiya. Alan Farr, greetings, guys. Alan, I'll see you on the weekend because that's the B&B I stay in at, I think that's you, Alan. That's Snetterton when I'm commentating there this weekend. It just enables us to do all of that connecting via the outlet. So we would connect to yours. So it's not going out via visual PRs, it's going out over yours. It can do if you would rather. We can also do optional extras like manage your YouTube channel and all those kind of things. Also, just for your information, you heard it mentioned earlier, Open Doors training. Well, Open Doors training can also support you if there's you or someone else that's going to be on camera a bit apprehensive or just want some support. And we can provide that public speaking presentation skills support as well, either discounted or included, depending on what the bundle is that an organization has with us at the end of the day, to make sure that everybody is comfortable and ready to go. I would then set up the schedule of when that show is going to go out. We do the blurb that's going to go with it, because you imagine, like I had for me, is that I scheduled the show, any shows, like a week before, and it has the blurb about what it's going to be. You get people to click, yeah, I'm going. It will remind them when it goes live. You can get other people sharing it and inviting people to it. All of those kind of things. We would set that up for you. And the show is then hot to trot. It's all ready to go. If your guests need to have the link, we'll send that through to them. If they want to just test it beforehand, we can jump online and let them see it. So this is visual PR. As I mentioned earlier, the critical thing is drop me a line, Chris at visual-pr.co.uk, Chris at visual-pr.co.uk. Register any level of interest, even if it's just minute, you're intrigued, let me know. We can then give you a personalized tour behind the scenes so you can see what it would look like for you. And as I said, special offer for the first 5 that register their interest is that they will get the free test drive, if you will. We'll get you on as a guest of one of the Visual PR TV shows, so that is something that you can even use in its own right. You know, Graham talking about gel, for example, you guys can actually make use of it as a test drive. And we'll then discuss, right, what's the right package for you, and it will be a personalized discount for the first 5 people that register. That's it. That's it from Visual PR. I'm really excited about launching this. I can't wait to work with you. Please bear in mind that the interest, I've already got 2 before I even launched the company that are signed up and we're broadcasting for. So I'm having to stay in control, and, you know, could get oversubscribed pretty quickly, genuinely, which is why I'm in the throes of growing the team as well. It'll always be me doing the interviews. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not, but that's the plan anyway. But get yourself registered. Let's get to see how we can work with you or your organization. If there's charities out there that you think would be good, drop me a line about those as well. And let's see how we can work with those on this charity spotlight. But there's the offer. It's been an absolute pleasure to launch this. My adrenaline has been sky high ready for this show. And I thank you very much, everybody that's joined me, the few comments that came in, the likes, all of that kind of thing. Graham Leafield for joining me as a guest. I'm going to play you out with one more video that's just going to bring to light exactly what this is all about. Before that, I've got my best mate, my best man at my weddings, and I was at his. Nice work, Chris. Good luck. Thank you, my friend. And I have already done some stuff with David. Who knows? Maybe again in the future if appropriate. But thank you, my friend. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and thank you for the good luck. Let's play you out with a final video that just brings it to life. Thanks from Chris Dawes, founder of Visual PR.